I don't need to for this meeting, but when I go to meetings that are people who go to ham operator meetings, we have to put our call sign in with our name. But if I needed to do that in Google, where would I go to change my name?
Oh, that's a great question. I think what you do is you go to the, let's see, possibly in activities, which was, here, let me find it for you. Just a second, Joanna. I'll figure it out here. No, that's not it. Where do you change one's name? Oh, I see. If you hover over your own name.
Okay.
Oh, no, that doesn't work either.
Apply visual effects. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, no, it's not there.
Remove this file, minimize, and then this one is pin, whatever that's for. Okay.
Yeah, let's. Oh, I like your backgrounds, Margaret. Margaret's figured out how to change the background, but I'm not sure quite how we'll do the names yet. But
okay, it's not important for this meeting. So, Margaret, you're in the big city, huh?
She looks like she's in Chicago.
Oh, now she's in the tropics.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. All right. Well, folks, why don't we jump in here? I did hear from Thea, and unfortunately she can't join us. And so I just figured, Julie, do you want to lead with anything like to chat about, or how's it going with Open Neighbors, or the Map Your Neighborhood? Anything there?
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, thanks for the prompt. I wasn't sure what I was trying to talk about. Map Your Neighbors hasn't really received very much of my energy lately. Summer being busy, but this seems like a good time to get back to working on it. The other thing that I would like to promote, and I had talked with Stephanie from Sacred Connections about, is promoting Adopt One Block at the Whitaker Cleanup event. The date of which escapes me, but is coming up. That would be Saturday, October 19th. When I spoke to her about that, she was actually all hooked up with Adopt One Block already. So that's fantastic. She's on the same page with us, and they are donating or providing some supplies for that cleanup. So I'll converse with her a little bit more about how she might like that to be structured, but I'd love to recruit more people to that movement. But Map Your Neighborhood, Neighborhood Ready has a little bit fallen off my radar. Joanna, bless you for organizing a Map Your Neighborhood on your block. I haven't had a lot of response as I've reached out to people. Yeah, do you have something to say about that, Joanna?
I do, because I have dropped the ball on that. I had a meeting, and then I was going to have another meeting in a month. It hasn't happened yet. So, I don't know if the group I met with is going, where'd she go? But I feel like, I should go around to the houses again and say, shall we try again?
Yeah, repetition is great with this kind of stuff.
I know.
We could also share, this isn't exactly a Map Your Neighborhood, but it is a disaster preparedness topic. The links to sites that show you how you can accumulate a store of shelf-stable food without spending a ton of money, right? A lot of people, I think, get sidetracked because they think, well, I don't have $100, $500, however much. I don't know how extra money in my budget to spend. I'm not sure where to store it. But there are some great pre-made, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's some great pre-made websites that say, hey, for an extra $20 a shopping trip, or pick your number, you can slowly accumulate things that work for you. So that would be something we could work on sharing with the Whitaker community at large. So I'm diverting a little bit from Map Your Neighborhood, but it's relevant. anyway, as we sink into fall and winter here, it makes people think a little bit more about preparedness. The storms that are happening in the East Coast make us think about that kind of thing, right? So it's a natural segue, and maybe now that we're working on our deliverables for the AARP grant, we can work on coordinating some of that, whether it's at in-person events or just as a online campaign. Briandra, is that kind of what you were looking for? What else can I speak to?
That's great. Thank you, Julie. Yeah,
Okay.
that's excellent. I realized I probably should have not jumped ahead, but maybe we could introduce everybody. It looks like, Meg, are you new to our group?
I am.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you. How did you hear about us?
Through the Facebook group.
Oh, wonderful. We're so glad you're here. Yeah. Why don't we just do a quick round of introductions then, so you're comfortable with and know who we all are. And why don't you lead? What is your story? Are you in the Whitaker? And
I think I'm not comfortable with speaking right now. Thank you.
no worries. Thank you for saying it. No worries. Okay, I'm Doriandra Smith. I'm of the Whitaker Community Council. I'm the executive director, and really happy to be on this Public Health and Safety Committee because we do great work here. We work on disaster preparedness and multitude of grants that work to improve our public health and safety in the community. Margaret, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
My name is Margaret. I'm on the board of the Whitaker Community Council. I did put in the, if you look at the notes on the side, I did put how to change your name if you would like to do when you're in Google Meets, just so that you know.
Thank you.
There is instructions in there. And I just, Doriandra asked me to pop on for part of the meeting. And I just finished my work day. So I thought I would pop on for a few minutes and say hello and, you know, see what's happening.
Nice.
Show my support.
How do you find something on the side?
So if you go to the bottom, you see where it's got like a little chat box. You can see there's people and it says 6 because there's 6 of us in the meeting. Next to that is like a little box that has a chat. If you just click on that chat, it will show you any messages that are in some meetings. People will put in messages in the side, depending on how many people are in attendance, depending on, you know, what they want to say. If they feel more comfortable just typing it in or asking a question, you know, it's up to the individual what they want to do. It's just another tool to be able to use in the meeting.
Thank you for finding any of that. I'll have to get a coaching some other time.
Meg, look at the bottom of your screen. And do you see a red circle-y box that has a phone in it?
Oh,
I think she.
All of the way to the right of that.
that was interesting.
She left.
Yeah, I think she left. Yeah.
Ah, I hope I didn't scare her away.
No.
That's
Okay.
That's why I came, I think. All right, I'm gonna go now and make my dinner. Joanna, you know what? It was great to see you the other day. Really quick, just a quick update because Thea is not here. If you don't mind me taking a second, Doriandra.
That would be great.
So we did follow through. So thank you, Julie. Sacred Connections is going to come to our meeting tomorrow night. And they're going to talk about the Great Whitaker Cleanup. We're also going to talk about some things that perhaps we can do in conjunction with them in order to keep our neighborhood clean. I do know that Elliot was working. Hey, Meg, glad to see you made it back. Elliot was working on garbage cans with Thea. What I did not know was that apparently LTD had garbage cans at all of the bus stops throughout the Whitaker, and they removed them.
Why?
And in doing so, there is not a lot of garbage cans left. So we currently are talking to the city Santa pack, all of that, and trying to get some garbage cans in our neighborhood, which are needed badly. That itself will take care of a lot of problems. So we're working on picking up the pieces that, which, like I said, I was unaware that LTD had removed all the trash cans.
Thank you for that, Margaret. That is alarming.
Well, we'll find a solution, Doriandra.
Yeah, we will indeed.
He is working on it right currently, actually. So that's
As
good.
you see. Great. Okay. Janet, did you have a question?
I do. I didn't know if I was actually on. No one acknowledged me beeping in, but I am here. How do I do my name like everyone has their name? I just want to put Janet. Can someone do that administratively? Because I'm not sure if I'll bounce out if I try.
Sure. Let's
That's
see.
okay to have my
It
name.
has your name there, Janet. It says Janet Ayers.
How come it does? I don't. Oh, just a second. Let me get my hand down.
Yep,
It
it
just
still
says
has your
you.
name.
It says you on my end. So you guys all see me as Janet.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to be like everyone, just use my first name, Janet. It's okay to use like Julie, my last initial.
Okay.
Julie has her whole name on there. We all
Yeah.
do, Janet.
We all,
We all do.
I don't see, the only one I see with the last, Dorianda comes up as WCC.
Correct. That's
Mine,
because she's the because she's running the meeting. She's signed
Right.
in under the
I
account, but
get that.
everyone has their first and last name up. It's because you're on your
Okay.
phone.
Oh, is that why it appears that way?
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
Yeah.
that's why.
Would you, just make it, like Joanna, just Janet, please?
Joanna has her last name too, and I don't think we have the ability to do that for you.
Okay, then skip my request then.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Janet. We don't,
Okay.
as,
And then how long is the meeting? Is it about an hour, Dorianda?
yeah, it's technically
hours.
2, but I think we have a much shorter agenda tonight because
Okay.
we're missing.
And I'll try my best to be quiet and let's move. Okay.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think while you're here, Janet, and Margaret, we might want to jump into the AARP debrief.
Yeah.
Talk a
Thank
little bit
you.
about,
Oh,
So we were
okay.
working on quick introductions.
go
We
ahead,
can do
Julie.
Janet's talking, or I can, whatever. So I'm Julie Bowman. I'm the secretary for the WCC, and I've been on this committee since before I started serving as secretary. I'm the coordinator for Map Your Neighborhood or Neighborhood Ready, which I just said that I had not given a lot of energy to, but would like to regroup with. And also, I'm not really officially the coordinator, but I'm kind of trying to forward the efforts of Adopt One Block. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank
Janet,
you.
maybe?
Janet, you want to introduce yourself first? Real quick.
A microphone off. Hi, I'm Janet Ayers. Nearly 40-year Whitaker resident, homeowner. Worked here. At-large board member. Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending.
Great. Joanna?
Well, hi. I don't know if I'm considered a member of this committee or not, but I popped in. Yeah, okay.
You are.
I popped in probably 3 or so meetings ago. And well, I'll start with who I am. I am Joanna De Felice. I have been in the WIT for, I can't swear to the exact timing, but I think I've owned my home for about 50 years now, which makes me officially old. And part of the reason I joined this group is that I am a local ham radio operator. There are a few of us in the WIT. I tried at one point to drum up more business urging other hams to get involved, and I had the tiniest bit of luck one time. And so far, I'm the neighborhood net control. My husband is the, what are you called? The district net control, and that's for the whole southeast 2 area. So what is that? That's Friendly and the Whitaker, downtown, Jefferson, few others. So basically, and I'm not going to go into detail now because my turn's a little bit, but we coordinate along with a local woman who's not a ham, but she's been involved for a long time. And we coordinate when we have various exercises so that we can practice drills, I guess, in terms of dealing with emergencies, because it's another example of practice, practice, practice. And right. Well, it's not my turn yet, so I'll get into detail. But I'm all about emergency communication. And because I've been here forever, participating in whatever other way makes sense. And I guess that's a good enough intro for me for now.
That's excellent. Thank you. Oh, Meg, I think you're muted. We'd love to hear what you're saying. It should be the right under the first one on the bottom icons on your left side. It's a little microphone. If you click that, you'll unmute. No? Let's see.
Do you not see the icons at the bottom of your screen? I guess she's using her phone, so that might make it hard for her to see them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't unmute her.
Janet, can you help with unmuting on a phone? Do you see how you do it?
Janet, can you? Oh, rats. Okay.
Well, maybe she'll come back and we can hear from her later. I know mobile is frustrating compared to a laptop or computer.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, very frustrating. Oh, darn it. Okay. All right. Well, if she pops back on, we'll be sure and try to help her again. But in the meantime, why don't we chat a little bit about the AARP event? I just thought it was absolutely fabulous. And Janet and Joanna, we were so glad you could come and help. And Julie, I'm sorry you weren't feeling well, couldn't make it, but we had a great time. It was really sweet and simple. And even though we didn't have a huge draw, it was a really nice steady stream of folks coming to pick up the chargers. Great little demonstration by Andy Davis of how you use the personal FRS radios. It was really cute and kind of helped us all think a little bit more about communication. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Janet? Any input or suggestions
well,
for next time?
First, I apologize for the texting. I don't know how that happened. I was trying to do the emojis like people do, but I flubbed up.
That's okay.
So you were asking me for ideas on, what was the question?
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, just how you enjoyed the AARP event and what your kind of ideas or conceptions about.
Well, let me say this. I was only going to stay an hour and I had such a good time. I stayed just pretty much the whole time. It was wonderful.
That's
and
great.
Thank you, ARPS, and thank you for Dorianne, the grant for emergency preparedness. I think that's very important. And Joanna, I so enjoyed talking with you. I would love to be a ham radio person. So as soon as we get together, you get a group, count me in.
We'll talk. Okay.
And yeah, it was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
I enjoyed our visit.
Yeah, it was just the sweetest, nicest event. I couldn't agree with you more. So
Yeah.
I thought it was really nice to watch because I don't know very many people in the neighborhood. I'm kind of a recluse, can't help it. I like people, but I am kind of a recluse. But I'm sitting there, I'm talking with Jen, and I'm watching these neighbors come in, and they're all, "Hi, how are you?" And I thought, "God, what a neighborhood. What a cool neighborhood." So I thought maybe I need to get out of my shell a little more.
Well, we were so glad you were there. It was just a great,
It was a pleasant visit.
yeah, you brought so many little elements of wisdom in our conversations and were able to chat with people. So really excellent. Margaret, how about you?
I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed meeting Joanna. Joanna, I've heard about you for a long time, and I've never had the opportunity to meet you in person. Doriandra talks about you all the time and how active you are and what you do and what a great asset you are for us. And yes, you're very much a part of this committee. Just so you know how a neighborhood association works is that everyone that lives in the Whitaker is actually part of the Whitaker Community Council. And anyone that serves on a committee that lives, works, or owns property in the neighborhood is on that committee and part of what we do. So you have a vote, to cast in here and all of that. And that was great. And I did see that it was nice that we had a pretty consistent flow. At one point, there were several people there when the gentleman from CERT did his presentation, which was great. And after that, I mean, we had people come in all the way up to 3:00, which was fantastic. And they came in, they knew they were picking up their radio, their battery, they walked around, and then they left. So I would say it was very successful.
Did Andy present? He had talked about presenting twice. Did that end up happening, or did he just do the once?
We just did the once, and then we got busy with so many folks coming to get their chargers, and then all of a sudden it was 2:30, and it was like, uh-oh. So yeah, that was a great little demonstration he did. And I got the lucky getting to announce that Godzilla was coming. That was so fun. He always has one wild card in that bunch, and I was hoping it would be me. It was. So.
I don't understand what that's all about.
Yeah, the FRS.
Okay.
Yeah, so Julie, I'll kind of recap for you. Those are those family service radios, and they're really exceptional, handy things. And so Andy, in a similar way that he did at our last disaster resiliency you were there, he gives one to 4 different people, and then we practice relaying information, like there's a facility crushed on 4th and Blair, and then that information goes back to one person that then gathers it and then sends it to Joanna, who then pushes it higher up in the NCOM. So
Oh, right, you were Godzilla.
well, no, I got the fun little card that said, there's a disaster on Oak Street. We have no Oak Street there, but and then complete disaster, Godzilla's coming. And I think there was a Power Ranger in that statement too. And it was really fun to deliver it completely like, deadpan. Yeah. But yeah, great demonstration. I loved the building. I think we should rent that again. It was super nice for winter activities. Julie, it was so refreshing to just be able to pull up and just open these lovely wood doors and roll out tables that were on wheels, and just everything was climate controlled. And we had, and the room is fabulous. It has like a whole AV system and a projector, and it had a microphone set up for us. So it was so nice.
Fun fact about me, the first time I got married in 1997, I was married at Campbell Senior Center.
Oh my goodness.
So
That
I
is,
imagine the room has changed a little, but I have been in it.
you have a very intimate knowledge of that room. That's wild. Wow. Neat.
I
Janet?
had an exercise class in that room with
Oh,
Cindy O'Brien.
nice.
Julie, I was married there 2003 also. It was beautiful. September 13th, no less. That's probably why the marriage didn't last, but it was a gorgeous setting there. And we had I was told by many people there, it was the best wedding to attend because we did a potluck. The flowers were in bloom. So you have a wedding twin.
Yeah, almost exactly 9/7 of 97.
Yeah, mine was 2003. Yeah.
Wow.
That is wildly romantic and strange coincidence. Great. All right. So we all love the Campbell Center. That we know for sure. So yeah, fairly reasonable. I mean, we just got our deposit back today. So it was $100 rental for the whole day and just super well worth it. So good stuff. And if anybody wants to get married, we know what to do. So okay. All right. Well, why don't we lead into this kind of neat conversation? I'm hoping Joanna can lead some of it, but the citywide NCOMS exercise is coming up on October 19th, and it's a super big deal. They had a kind of a soft test back in September, and I heard it went well, except for some little blips with some points of connectivity. But yeah, would you like to explain more of this, Joanna? Because you're a very big central part of
Being involved. This, I think, is the third year that the city has done this, and each year it gets a wee bit better.
Mhm.
And I think the problem that they were dealing with this year, and it kind of points out why it's important to check these out, is that was it the friendly neighborhood and two neighborhoods were trying to communicate with their local people, and they were hearing each other. So one of them had to go to their alternate frequency. But if there had been an emergency and they didn't know what their alternate frequency was, they would be in a lot of trouble, which is underscoring again why we need to do this in practice. And this is an exercise. If any of you, Janet, you said you're interested in becoming a ham radio operator, and those who aren't particularly interested in becoming ham radio operators, I encourage as many people as possible to at least get an FRS radio. You don't have to have a license for it. There's not a long range option for it. You mostly will be able to talk a few houses down or maybe a whole street down. It just doesn't have a long range. Whereas a ham radio, you can talk all over the place. So at least get your ham radio, your FRS radio. Let's see. I'm going to go and hello. I want to share
your screen. So remember, see the little smiley face right at the bottom of your icons?
Oh, got it.
Directly to the right of it, it's a square with the
square. Okay.
Yep.
So I'll click on that. And then I'm going to show you an FRS radio, a ham radio, and then I'm going to show you the two forms that are used when there are emergencies. And what happens is that at the neighborhood level, what is Megan called? She's
Megan Kemple.
yeah.
She's doing the water the water station.
Right, she's
coordinator.
now mostly doing the water thing, although she did participate in this exercise. It was a little confusing because I didn't know she was going to participate this year. But in her neighborhood, what she does is she sends out a team of people who assess what damage is happening in their area. Then they come back and they report to her. And she calls me, this is what's going on and where it's going on. Then I take that information and I give it to the district coordinator. I'm going to show you the 2 radios and I'll show you the forms that we use. So, did I share my screen? Ta-da. So let's go over here. Oh, now, okay. So now, can I get over to that other screen? Share. Click here. And go over here. Okay. Okay. So what do you? So, do you see something that says general message? A form?
No, I don't unfortunately see your screen yet. And
Oh,
you have,
So Joanna, do you see the little square with the arrow up that's just
yeah,
to the
on
right?
the right-hand corner.
No, it's not right-hand corner. It's just next to the smiley face reaction. It's kind of in the middle of my screen anyway. So it's shaped like a square or a rectangle with an arrow pointing up. It's next to where you raise your hand and it says present now.
Okay. Oh,
Do you
it
see
says
it?
can't share your screen. An error occurred. Okay.
Okay, I haven't done it with Google Meets. It's all different to me. Sorry if that's not helpful.
These guys?
what did you see, Joanna? You received an error code?
Yeah, so I'm going to try that again.
Okay.
Share it again.
And just ask if they can see what you're doing.
So can you see me? So I'll say allow, select monitor. Okay.
Say share.
Oh, you have
Entire screen,
two monitors. That may be.
and then share.
Can they see you?
And what do you see?
We're still not seeing it. Yeah.
These are visitors, and this call is being so no. Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might not have permission also.
You do have permission from this side.
Okay. Well, you're not allowed to share your screen, is what it says when I go to the little box with the arrow in it.
Hi, Jen.
What is that?
Okay, let's double check settings.
Which this,
What's that? Click on it.
oh, it goes away.
Well, you want to close up the form? I can give you.
Let's see.
Okay. Well, so I'm going to hold up. Gary's going to get a couple of forms and I'll just hold them up. This, there are a bunch of different kinds, like, but this is a ham radio that is kind you can walk around with. So here's the microphone. On the side here, you'll learn how to use what they call the PTT or push to talk button. But it takes some practice and some learning, which is why you'll want to play with this. The easier way to start, but again, it's very short range, is your FRS radio. And if you were at Andy's presentation on, I think it was Saturday, he said, you know, that $40, $20, they're definitely affordable. Okay. Okay. And this is much easier. So those are the two different kinds of radios. Now, and you know, with the ham radio, you have to have a license for it. You do not have to have a license for the FRS. So I don't know how well you can see this. Are they saying it backwards?
No, I can see it. General message, EOC.
And you're not saying it backwards, you're saying it.
Right,
Okay.
your
correctly.
writing is almost as bad as mine, but that's okay.
Okay, so this is the general message. And so it shows who it's going to, who it's from, what the subject is, and the message. So on this one, we've got, it's going to EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, which is usually the topmost tier of where messages go.
And where would that be within the city?
Generally in Eugene, it's going to be, or could be at the sheriff's office.
Mhm.
But they could designate another place, but it'll be something on that level.
Okay, thanks.
And then, it shows from Daniel. Okay, so shows who's making the report, and the subject is where the event took place. This says House Off Foundation, uncontrolled gas leak, need immediate assistance to shut off. And then because this was an exercise, we started with, this is an exercise. And at the end, we said, this is an exercise, because we didn't want anybody tuning in saying, oh. So then when that's done, there is another communication log. So we have to track message ID number, because you want to be able to refer back. Who said that? When did they say that?
Mhm.
And that all gets saved. Now, for this year's exercise, because none of you have, I don't want to assume any of you has an FRS radio, but I think it wouldn't hurt for you to contact Andy and get on the email list. Now I could send you. Sorry, Andrew, did you get Andy's address? So that his address should go to probably everybody on the committee, and contact him and say, will you put me on the email list for anything CERT, so that you become aware of trainings, you become aware of when exercises are occurring, like this city-wide exercise. I was kind of surprised that you didn't already know about that, which means that communication wasn't filtering down to everybody who needed to have it.
Right.
So we need to be proactive about making sure we're on the list.
Okay.
So that's the kind of the most of it. Now, this exercise is going to be on October 19th when the cleanup's supposed to be happening. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to coordinate, but you'll be ready for next year. I'll keep poking you. So do you have questions about this? Because that was kind of quick and dirty.
Let's see, I lost my screen, just a second. I think Julie's got a hand up here.
Yeah, Julie, go ahead.
Oh, there we go.
Well, Joanna, it's been on my list to get an FRS radio. And I was just trying to share a link, but kind of unsuccessfully. It looks like they start very inexpensively,
They do.
maybe 2 for $40. I'm sure if you spend $100 or $150 on a pair, you probably get something more durable and better.
Mhm.
If either the WCC was able to purchase some or individuals had their own, could we coordinate some sort of a class with you to just school us on how to, I know it's fairly easy, but it'd be nice to practice with that.
But it doesn't even have to be with me. I know that Andy periodically does training. Let's see if I can go to my email and find one of those.
Yeah, I think there was one just like 2 Thursdays ago at the fire station.
Right recently, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess as a follow-up, we need to, are these the type of radios that we need to know what channels to stay off of so that we
Yeah,
can
well,
interfere with emergency things?
what we do in Eugene is that the various neighborhoods, each is assigned a frequency to use. And because, well, for 2 reasons. Sometimes if there's interference from one neighborhood to the other, for whatever reason, one of you has to go to an alternate frequency. Now, what we had, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, Megan and I were trying to communicate, and there was some kid just being obnoxious, making all kinds of noise. So we had to go to our alternate frequency. When you go to your alternate frequency, you don't say, go to frequency 5 or anything, just go to our alternate frequency. And we'll have to know what that is so that that punk kid, excuse my language, doesn't follow us.
So that's at least in part so that if somebody is trying to hassle you or interfere with you, they don't know exactly where you've gone. So
Right.
it's pre-agreed.
Right.
Got it.
We're not where they were bothering us, but they don't know where we went. So, and that's just fine. So let me get to the emails. Let's see. Maybe I'll go down here.
Joanna, while you do that, Julie, I want to show you this little screen. Or here, we can just put it in the channel. Let's see, sorry. Here we go. I will just share this real quick. This is the big map that I'll send you the link to in a second. But this is how
Right.
it's all laid out so that if you have one of these and you just memorize your channel for whatever you need. So
Right. So we're in Southeast 2, which is
I think Whitaker's 5, isn't it, Joanna?
Well, can you scroll down a little bit more? Because I see Southeast 1, but I think Southeast 2 is below what we're seeing on your screen.
Sure. Yep. There we go.
There we
Is that
go.
better?
So the west, so
Let's see. The Whitaker's 5.
5 is
Yeah.
Whitaker
Mhm.
Community Council. Right. So that says where we are, we would be on frequency 5. Now I'm looking back at my emails and looking for them. I have to look for the most recent, but here's one. This was from February, but it's Neighborhood Communications, Learning to Use Your Radio. Hello, MCOM folks. This coming Saturday, and this was in February from 10 to noon, the Northeast District will be hosting a Zoom training session on neighborhood communications and learning to use your radio. The link for the Zoom training is provided below. So if you have your radio, you can, by Zoom, tune into one of these.
So that's fantastic, Joanna. I don't know if we would ever pull this together, but seeing as these are short range, if I at 3rd and Adams wanted to communicate with you over at 4th and wherever you're at, I would need to leapfrog with someone, right? So I would need to hope to talk to someone between us and say,
Maybe.
maybe.
I can't tell you where Megan is. Do any of you know where Megan lives?
I do. Megan is toward the river. She's on north. She's past First, north of First.
North
So
of First.
You're
Okay.
you're physically
And-
closer to me than she is.
I am on Fifth and Polk. So there's some distance. And what we do is, because she doesn't have a ham radio, I put my radio, my FRS radio, on the windowsill in my office, because that's the line of more direct communication. And we kind of have to work at it sometimes, but we can hear each other. And I get the information that I need. So it's difficult, but it's definitely doable.
That would be super interesting for people to practice.
Mhm,
As people who don't have ham licenses and the stronger radios, if we wanted to give you information or get it from you. I mean, in a lot of circumstances, it'd probably be easier for me to walk over to your block.
Right, but that's not the point when we're doing
Right,
income.
I understand.
Friendly area neighborhood, they're very active, and they're not they weren't particularly active over the summer. They'll probably pick it up again, and I don't know where they're going to be doing it, because the what do you call where the Gary, I'm losing my words. You can't hear me. I'll be right back.
While she's checking on that, Doriandra, is there, I mean, I know we have a million irons in the fire. Are there any immediate plans for the WCC to invest in any of these or do any of these trainings? It's very accessible, at least for me. For a lot of people, it might be, but I'm just wondering.
So I got it. The reservoir, the friendly area neighborhood, we meeting once a month at the reservoir. They also got a grant to buy a bunch of FRS radios. And they checked them out to various people so that the group knew who had them. And they would have exercises practicing the use of those radios every single month. So I don't know if Whitaker Community Council can put together a grant for something like that. You could probably talk to the friendly area neighbors about what they did to go after that grant, so you're not starting from square one. But if you can get some FRS radios, then we have a core group to start with, and then we start our practice.
Great
Okay.
idea. Yeah. Thank you, Joanna. I will look into that.
Okay.
Yep.
When you talk, do you want to talk with the friendly neighbors, or do you want me to contact them?
Either way, they're just highly efficient folks. I mean,
Very much.
yeah, them and then the River Road group have, I think, the most advanced kind of emergency planning of anywhere in the city. And
The Northeast.
yeah,
Yeah, that's Andy's group, so I'm not surprised. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We're striving to get there, but we have some catching up to do. So
Right. And it might be that Andy can give you some input about who to go to try to get a grant.
okay.
I'll make a note to. Okay.
Great. So
Okay.
any more questions for Joanna? Or can you give us a little run through about how the drill will happen on the 19th?
Well, what's going to happen? Let's see if I can tell you from.
Are you participating in that, Joanna?
Yes.
Yes. Good.
Yes. And I'm going to guess that Megan is too, but now that her focus is elsewhere, I don't know. I'm going to contact her because I'll contact her before that exercise, because we had a little bit of a glitch with the practice exercise. I didn't hear anything from her, so I assumed that she was not participating in the practice. And it turned out that she was trying to call me an hour beforehand. Well, I wasn't near my phone an hour beforehand. I was getting ready for the exercise. So, okay, this is where to correct. I practice. Saturday training. See, there's this. So below are some important points to remember. The flow of emergency messages from the neighborhood field teams to the EOC is still the same. So Megan would contact me and deliver the messages from her group. If there were other groups in our particular neighborhood, they would do the same. They'd contact me, and then I would take those messages and then turn them over to Gary. And then he would turn them over to the EOC, or the Emergency Operations Center.
Great.
And then you have to use what they call the ICS 213 general message form, which was the first form I showed you. And they say, remember to speak slowly, 5 or 6 words at a time. So they're talking about somebody's called you and said, here's some emergency messages. And when you're delivering an emergency message to somebody who's filling out an ICS 213, you have to remember that person is writing as fast as they can. Mm-hmm. So Margaret, I know that my writing looked terrible while I was going as fast as I could. So you'll want to practice writing slowly. And then you'll do things like, okay, you might have heard that with in our practice with Andy. So Megan gives me a message, and then I say to her, I copy blah, 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 what I think she said. Is that correct? And then she'll make corrections if she needs to. And then when we know that that's correct, then we can either go on to the next one or say, okay, that's it for now. So that's kind of it. You know, you're calling, you're giving your messages. You're trying not to freak out. I was going to ask if any of you had the opportunity to tune in to, and this was on, could hear it. I don't think they were on our radio that we heard them. I think it was recordings. The emergency communication group, I don't know if it was in Asheville, North Carolina, but they had big emergency back there. And the people running the emergency network, they were stellar. There was a lot going on. They stepped in, not being asked to, but somebody had to start communication. So somebody says, okay, I don't hear anybody else here. It could be me. You know, there's an emergency happening. So I might say, is anybody using this frequency? Nobody answers. So I am temporarily, at least, net control. And people are contacting me. And we're all freaking out, but we're keeping our freakouts under control as much as we can. But that's again why we practice, so that we get used to what is it I'm supposed to do? When is it I'm supposed to do it? How do I use my radio? So, Julie, I think you asked me the question. It was either you or Jana. Can we practice this kind of thing? And if we can get hold of some FRS radios, the answer is absolutely yes. And we may even get Andy to get us going with that. But we have to get those radios. So our first step is talking with the fan neighborhood and with Andy to see if they can make some suggestions about how to go about getting a grant.
The market has 2, and we're probably going to buy 2 more, I think.
Mhm,
Who has 2?
The Whitaker Community Market.
mhm.
Oh, okay. So we got those, and I've got a couple.
I think it's
So-
like they're just the Midland ones, but I think
I'm motivated to buy a couple. So if we ended up with
okay,
even 8 or 10, then it'd be pretty easy
we
to
can
do a
get
trading.
started.
Mhm.
Jen, they don't have to be Midlands, because when like I've got a very old Motorola,
Mhm.
but it works beautifully. And the critical thing there is, are we on the same frequency? So yeah, it sounds like without very much work, we could have enough radios to get going. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right. Yeah, that would be amazing if we could get everybody kind of trained and communicating in a little team.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jen's up chambers, and then I'm higher up chambers, but like it's neat how even people like Jen and I are, they're kind of out of the whip, but still close to the whip. Like we could even relay,
Mm-hmm.
if a larger swath of people had them. It's really neat.
Right. I would almost
I think I
suggest
catch Joanna.
start.
At least.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like just from where people said they live. So.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we did this at the Campbell Center? We were all kind of close.
Yeah.
I would almost suggest that we start that way, reasonably close,
Mhm.
so that if you've got questions, if you're confused, we're right there. We can help each other in the learning process. And we go, okay, I think I got it.
Mhm.
And then we go to our individual homes and start practicing.
Yeah.
And then we have a debrief at the end of it. What worked, what didn't, what questions?
Yep. That would be a good strategy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All
I think
right.
I've probably just about run out of my time.
Thank you, Joanna. Anybody have more questions for her before we wrap this segment up, or? No?
Thanks, Joanna.
You bet.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you telling us all this great info. So, okay, let's see. The next section we have is kind of stalled in the water a little bit. We were going to maybe dive into the Healthy Homes grant, but we are still waiting for the state of Oregon to grind through all of the minutia of the contract. So we're kind of stalled in the water. And I think the best place for our committee conversation about how to start this would probably be next month. I'd hoped we'd have a lot more information by tonight, but it just takes forever. And we always joke around that we should change the name Whitaker Community Council to a Whitaker Community Council, because we'd be first on the list and they move their way through the grants. So we're always at the very end of any admin or information, or so yeah, that's I think we'll pause on that unless anybody has any questions. just kind of, we've got the word out in the neighborhood, so I'm gathering folks that are kind of pre-applying or chatting. And I talked to some folks at the Blair Housing Cooperative on Saturday, and super excited to kind of start there because that was a Whitaker Community Council project so long ago. So that'll be really neat. So yeah, more information coming soon. Maybe we can make that our main topic for next month when we come together. The only other thing I really have tonight is the AARP thing has definitely launched. Jen, give you an update. We didn't see on Saturday, but going around and around with Emerald for months, it seems like. It's just been months and months, but finally have dialed it in, and we've got 2 firm locations. One will be at Bruns Market, and then the other one is at Eugene Mission. And they're fiber optic hubs with big old battery packs that live inside the buildings of each of those facilities. So when the power goes down, we'll know what to do, and folks can just walk to wherever's closest. And so on Saturday at our event, we passed out tons of a little info card that just has, like, in the event of losing power in the city or emergency, it just tells you to walk to one of them. And then I set the passwords and the sign on all the same so that everybody can just keep this nice little card, glossy card, on their fridge. And when stuff goes down, they can just make their way over with their card and log right in, and we'll be good to go. And so that was fabulous. And we did pass out 50 of these super cool cell phone chargers that are solar. And so everybody was jazzed about that. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. I couldn't make it. I'm sorry, but I was gonna say I was hoping that went well, and that's great. Because I was gonna say, yeah, if you have leftover ones, we can maybe have people pick them up at the market, and you don't even have to table. But
yes.
that's, everyone got their thing, so congrats.
Yeah, a couple folks didn't make it, but Jen, Vincent, and I will we have a couple folks that are disabled or had a hard time, so we'll take them personally to them this week. But yeah, all 50 found good homes, and they're all in the Whitaker. So yeah, really nice. Everyone's got some good equipment that should take them through a storm. So yeah, that went really well. And so we'll do not tomorrow's general meeting. We have to move that to hybrid because we didn't have a space to do it in person. So the following month, again, we'll get more dialed in with the general meeting as well with the healthy homes. But tomorrow at the online hybrid, or online only, not hybrid general meeting, we'll be announcing more of the AARP thing and kind of just close that up tight so folks know. And yeah, we're off and running. We closed up the small bucket grant. Was working on closing that out, so that's over. We have a ton of buckets left over. So if we somebody had a great idea. Oh, that's what we might do. Yeah, today we launched the Eugene Mission partnership, the volunteer group, and it was fabulous. The sweet little Eugene Mission van rolled up, and all kinds of great folks from the Life Change program hopped out today, and we did a whole neighborhood cleanup area around Grizzly Granola, kind of, and the train tracks there, and we spread out a little bit. Fabulous time. And that's what I was thinking when we were I was thinking, that's what we can do with these buckets. We can start using them to pick up trash and use them as paint buckets when we go out next week and start covering, graffiti and trying to fix murals. And so, yeah, we got a good use of those extra garden buckets because they were awesome. But frankly, there's a lot of things to do with buckets. So, all
That's
right.
awesome.
Yeah. So anything else for anybody's any good ideas for next month, or anything you guys want to chat about, or shall we just get an hour back of our night? This was a quick meeting, but I feel like we got a lot done. So
sorry to have missed most of it.
Oh, no. We're so glad you came, Jen. Thank you. Oh, Julie, you got something?
Sure, I don't need to drag the meeting out, but we talked, you mentioned, so as we know, LTD got rid of most of their garbage cans, at least in the Whitaker. Not all of them. I can tell you not all of them are gone, but that was, I think, because of math. You know, it wasn't only that they grudged getting rid of the trash that maybe didn't belong to people riding the bus. It was more pulling trash out and spreading it about. But anyway, you said we're maybe trying to partner with Santa Pack for some sort of a trash situation. Is that what I thought you said maybe at the beginning? No, Margaret said that.
Margaret
Okay.
said that.
That's a
Yeah.
Margaret question. Okay.
Yeah. I don't
I was curious about if that was just a talking thing or if I'll follow up with that, Margaret, or look for information later.
Right.
So the Life Change program is going to work with us during the Healthy Homes Grant, and it sounds like you're launching that partnership right away and starting with having them help us with cleanup.
Yeah, we launched it today.
I love that.
Yep. And that was a program I kind of got rolling with them so we would have the advance help for people before Healthy Homes construction began. But since we're at the end of the list of the grant cohorts, yeah, we just, Thea and I went and met with them, I guess 2 weeks ago, and we just decided we would start cleaning up the Whitaker. So next Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 11 again, we'll go to the Bruns Market area and work on that. So if any of you have good ideas or you want to send me kind of a, hot spot. Oh, Jen's got one. Please
I'm
do.
like, I have an idea of a spot that could probably use it.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll totally do that. This was the problem where I tried to get them to come on Saturdays or Sundays, but it interferes with their church stuff, so we had to choose Tuesday. But we could still come Tuesday and do the park.
It would be, your job will probably be easier because we'll have done some of it, but
Mhm.
it's bad enough that, like, and with the leaves falling and stuff like that, that like we're not getting, the caps and the glitter and the, and not that I expect anyone to get the glitter, but like, there's like just maybe like a little bit more volume of actual, like if someone is to rake up all the leaves so they don't have to pick through it to just get the trash out,
Mhm.
that would be really awesome. And
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, maybe we could do 2 locations and start. Let me see. Your markets, yeah, I was asking you about that, how much longer your markets go. I texted you
October, yeah,
21st.
or yeah, whatever that
Would be the 20. Yeah, I think it's the 20th, October 20th. Okay. All right. So we'll get next week. We'll go to Scobert Gardens and do that whole area. And then maybe they can do an hour there and then go to Bruns second. So, okay. That'd be great. Yeah, I'm excited to see the post. We took pictures and it was just really, really cool. It was so nice. Everybody was so positive.
That's great. Yeah. And it's with Lily being in there, it's been getting a little bit better, but then sometimes that's worse, and the huge. But we're second season feels less crippling and exhausting than the first one. Somehow it makes me feel like I'm forgetting something or not paying attention enough. But other than that,
y'all are doing good.
So, but yeah, I think that hopefully they'll start trying to actually pay attention to it. I think the Parks Department did kind of get the memo a little after that guy witnessed all the things. So sorry to miss Thea's part too, but
Yeah, I know Thea rattled the cage for you.
But, yeah. Okay. Yeah, take back this joyous 47 minutes. They're all
Right. Thank you, everybody. This was great. I really appreciate all your information, Joanna. It's always good to see everyone. Yeah, we're great.
Great meeting.
Good.
All right.
Thank
Good luck
you all.
at the meeting tomorrow.
Thank you all, fabulous ladies. Have a great night.
All right, take care.
Good night. Oh, let's see. Okay.